X39 has really changed my life. I'm not stuck at home in pain and in bed. I'm out here with my friends and enjoying my family.
Big thank you to Lifeway for helping me, helping my family, and helping the 100 people now in our team who are using Lifeway daily and their families. Big thank you. Love the products.
And I have energy through the roof.
I sleep better. I have so much more energy.
Throughout the day, I can focus better. I can concentrate in my work.
Our church worship service lasts 45 minutes. For the last 2 years, I've not been able to stand that long. 2.5 weeks into wearing the X39 patch, the pastor said, "You can now be seated." It dawned on me at that moment that, my goodness, I've been standing this whole time, didn't realize it.
After starting using the technology for approximately 2 weeks, my pain completely disappeared.
32 years of pain gone in 3 days.
I just love the products. They just help me to feel younger and younger year after year.
Thank God for X39.
My skin become younger, softer, firmer.
It's been really amazing.
I love X39 because it really helped reduce the inflammation in my knee. I can now run again. Woohoo!
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Community Live Younger community call. I'm Connie Lucas, Presidential Director, and thank you all so much for joining me. As you know, once again, I'm filling some big shoes for Robin and Gregory while they're enjoying a real vacation in Italy. And thank you to Liz Hodges and the IT in the background, because trust me, none of this would be happening if Liz wasn't in the background. So tonight, we normally do some recognition. We're going to wait till Robin and Gregory come back for that. They love to celebrate your wins, and they'll be celebrating a lot of people when they come back. We'd like to talk about best practices. What can we do to support your business and help you move forward? So tonight, I'm really fortunate to have my sponsor on with me. And so I'm going to have Senior Presidential Director Harris Williams join me. And to tell you a little bit about Harris, Harris and I worked together in a former company, and he was my mentor in that company. And he taught me everything there was to know about this industry and how to fall in love with this industry. And so as we worked together through that company decided to go e-commerce, and Harris had really lifted me up into leadership. He had helped me move into that piece of my journey and that piece of my growth with the other company. And when LifeWave came along, he said, "Connie, you've absolutely got to take a look at this. You've got to look at the science. You're gonna love it." And that's how the journey began. So thank you so much, Harris, for joining me tonight. I couldn't do this without you.
It's my pleasure, Connie.
Yep. And tonight we want to talk a little bit about the cycle of the revolving wheel of best practices, how to move things in, right? I'm going to let Harris share a little bit about that. And then I want to get into inviting, how to promote, how to invite. We've got a lot of really great pending events on a regular basis. So I think we want to chat a little bit about that too. So Harris, why don't you take off and give us some insight?
Well, thank you, Connie. And it's always a pleasure to be on these Zooms. And it's humbling because the beauty of this business is that you keep paying it forward. I've had the good fortune of meeting you and Barry, years ago, and you were so educable and, as I like to put it, so coachable. And I saw everything. You had a desire to help people and change lives. And the one thing I loved about you, Connie, is that you throw your heart over the bar, and all I had to do was get out of the way. And that's pretty much what I've done in LifeWave, because I'm at a point in my life where I finally went on Medicare. Well, this month, I'm like, wow, Medicare, never thought I'd get there. But the main thing is, the beauty of this business is that you can work this business, or I should say, be part of this movement in the community, where we're helping people, changing lives for your whole life. You don't get put out to pasture, and you can choose, how much you want to work. And for me, I've got an aging mother with dementia. I've got a son I want to spend time with. I have my partner, girlfriend I want to spend time with. So that's the beauty of this business, is that, as you become a master at it, you don't have to work quite as hard. But let's talk about the time of year we're in.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on that part.
Allow me to be say semi-retired, but still be part of the LifeWave movement. I love these patches. I love the technology. I met David, as you know, Schmidt a few years ago after Robin patched me, as she has so many people. And it has changed my life because I use the patches every day. I'm an extreme athlete. I still play very competitive pickleball, tennis, and kite surf, windsurf, and do all these crazy things. My son says, "You act like you're 18." I go, "What's your point?" He goes, You're not 18." I go, "What's your point?" Aging is overrated. So we do believe that aging is more of a feeling than a number. But I want to get back to the question, because I can know how you're over there going, I feel a digression coming on. I grew up as most of you know, as a boat captain, a fishing guide, a kind of a recreational specialist. I love to work more for smiles than money. And the one thing I love about this business is about paying it forward. And Gregory, one of my mentors, over 30 years now, and Robin's been a dear friend and mentor for over 20 years. He's very systematized, and I'm not. I'm more of ignorance on fire than knowledge on ice. And I would like you to write that down, because one of the reasons I've been, I believe, successful is because I don't try to figure all the things out. I don't know that much about technology. I don't know about, the amazing InTouch app or a lot of the things that we have like he does. But the one thing I do know is that if you share this amazing technology and opportunity with enough people, and you stay in front of them, and we're going to talk about that good cycle of business success system. We're going to call it the law of the farm today, because we are in the planting phase of the year. There's never been a better time to plant than right now. School's back in, people are thinking about what's going on in the economy. There's some concerns. This is a recession-proof business. The beauty of it is that right now you got 1 million people still almost a month resigning from their job, looking for a side gig. I've never seen this. It's the perfect storm of opportunity, Connie. So how do we capitalize on it? And I think we get so caught up sometimes in trying to figure it all out. And I would just say that stay focused on what we're going to call tonight, just because, this is our theme. It's kind of the law of the farm. We're going to talk about belief, number one, real quick. And, if you don't have belief, you just started with LifeWave, you've not had a chance to really get trained yet, maybe, or you don't have, have you ever started a business? There's a lot of things that could be concerning or a little scary. What I would say is plug into the system, plug into your up team, plug into, this movement we've created with Younger Longer and the whole community. And just remember that all you have to do is be a product of the product. Love the product, believe in the product, share the product, and, invite. And this is kind of this whole concept of law of the farm. So you may not have 100% belief like Connie does, or I do, or Robin does, or Greg, or millions of people do, but I can tell you, you will, and you can borrow it from your up team. You can borrow it from all the tools and all the things that we have access to with LifeWave. So the first thing is that your belief system. And all I would ask you to believe in right now, and I think all of us would agree, this is a life-changing technology that you have that are right there in your hands. And it's also, part of our social media and digital platform that you can invite people using all of our videos and all the things that can help people learn more about it. So you don't need to be the message, you just need to be the messenger. If you look up the word invite, or invitation, it means you're inviting someone. That's it. Doesn't mean you're saying too much. It doesn't mean you're talking too much. It doesn't mean you're rambling like me. It means you're just inviting people to look at something. You're sharing it with them. And so all I would share with you tonight is that we're going to talk about these 4 things. Keep feeding your faith, feeding your belief system. How does that happen? By leveraging your up team, leveraging the tools, leveraging all the other amazing stories. And what will happen, you'll have a story, and then you'll become a mentor like Connie. And then from there, it's planting. And planting is where you share and care versus sell and tell. And again, we talked about the planting is the invitation, Connie, and that's really more about inviting someone to take a look at one of the videos that we have with our app, or or try the patch in front of them. I do believe it's great to patch somebody if you're in front of them. I do that all the time on the pickleball courts, as you know, and people actually a lot of times will feel it. Now, I always set their expectations and let them know that everybody feels it. However, this is how simple it works. And as Robin did with me, I'll explain how, when, like how vitamin D is activated when sun hits your skin, our patches work the same way. But I don't get into all the technology and all the things that David Schmidt's figured out, because again, I'm more of a fishing guide. And that's what I would ask you to be, is be kind of a farmer or a guide. You're guiding people through a process of inviting them, and you're not attached to the outcome. And I think you should write that down. We get so caught up in thinking everybody should see this, believe it, be as excited as we are. Well, guess what? Not everybody is going to be initially. And sometimes you'll fit, this happens, Connie. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person or the wrong thing to the right person. Sometimes people are ready for it. They've got something going on in their body, or they're having some health issues, or they're looking for community, or they're looking for an opportunity. They get it. And you go, wow, that was incredible. Other people take time. So when you're planting, just remember that when you plant a seed, this amazing seed of really helping people look, feel, and perform younger, and or find this opportunity or be part of this amazing community, you've done your job. That's really all you're doing. And then it's all about just loving on them and taking them through this process of following up in a very mindful way, a very kind way, and giving them something else. You don't give them everything at once. You don't patch them, send a video, try to take them to a meeting all the same day. The more you spread it out and you stay in front of them and stay in touch with them with our apps, then what ends up happening is they go, wow, this is amazing. And again, not everybody's going to feel it right away or see it right away. And just remember that we're in the sorting and sifting business, Connie, not in the convincing business. Let the tapes, let the tools, let the up team, let the energy of the community do the work. And when someone raises their hand, when you check in and go, hey, Connie, is there anything else you need to see or hear about LifeWave before you try the patches and order them? And it gets quiet, say, great, let's get you started. And then when the enrollment process starts, that's where you really love on them. This is not direct sales where you sell them something and you move on to the next person. This is where the real connection and the relationship starts. And this is where you find out more about, what they really want to experience. And you ask them about, would you be interested in looking at the opportunity, or you get them involved with our community at Younger Longer, and you actually allow them to experience it. And when they raise their hand and go, wow, I think I want to make this a business too, that's where you do a planning session with them. You make sure you help feed their belief system. You show them this success system that's so duplicatable, and you start all over again. And the more you get that moving in this flywheel, this very kind of like empowering way where people constantly are going in, they're getting the invitation, they're getting loved on, you're watering that seed. All of a sudden they go, wow, I'm starting to feel it and see it. Then you get them, the harvest starts. So, you basically at that point, you get them started right. That's the beauty of this business. And I'm going to tell you what the secret sauce is: consistency of action. You do that every day, a little bit, amazing things will happen, Connie.
Absolutely. You said something that I haven't heard before, but the analogy of you being a fishing guide, right? You're guiding them there. You're not forcing them. Again, you're not convincing them. You're not getting attached. A couple people did write that down. I even see it in the chat. You're not getting attached to that outcome. This is always about them. And when they're, if they say no, you just say, you know what? No big deal. If anything ever changes and I can help you, please let me know. and you leave it. And you'll be surprised how many people come back to you when it's the right time, or when they see, you know, something. I did a simple little post on the hair growth all my clients have gotten on X, and I didn't say the product. I never say the product on social media, but all the hair growth on the technology that my clients have gotten, and people who I'd been talking to, I knew they had knee problems. I knew they had all these other things, but they saw that was what they were looking for, and they called me up and they enrolled. So let's talk about the invite, because when we had an event in Sarasota this spring, you invited like a crazy man, you and Victoria.
Right, we did.
and you guys really got a great harvest out of that event.
That's right.
Can you talk a little bit about how you promoted that event? We have an event coming up, another corporate event that everybody can engage in Scottsdale, Arizona. And in Live Younger, you know, you can go into what's new. You can go ahead and get the flyer that Gregory's created and invite people to that event. Also, just so you know, you can actually go into your app or your back office, go under the events tab, go down to the Scottsdale event, click on it, and go to the Evite. There's a Evite site there. When you get into there, you can enroll yourself to come and as many guests as you want, or you can go in and put in the email and the name for your guest, even if you're not going to be there, so that they can get to the event. And how nice will it be for them to walk up to the registration table, have someone from corporate sitting there, and when they give their name, they type it in, boom, thank you for coming, right? They're already registered. So register for that event. And let's talk a little bit.
What's the event, Connie? What's the date of that event?
What's the date? Thank you, Harris. You don't know, aren't you coming out?
No, I'm just asking.
Aren't you coming out for it?
Well, yeah, but I know you gotta let everybody know what the date is.
Saturday, October 22nd.
That's what I read this morning.
Yep, Dr. Nicholas Tivoli, who is Robin and Gregory's sponsor, will be hosting that event along with myself and Oz Fuentes and Therese Santos. And so we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a really great event. But Harris, if you can talk a little bit about, what did you say to people when you were trying to get them to come to the event? How did you talk to them about that?
Well, you know, I think you always got to try to, first off, before you even call someone or you message them or contact them. I mean, I personally like to pick up the phone. Some people don't pick up the phone anymore, so you can text them, which I think is the next way, or message them, you know, if that's how they respond. I think that's how I look at, you know, all these different mediums, and everybody has a different thing. For me, don't send me an email, don't leave me a voicemail, text me or message me. So remember that you want to meet people where they're at with the invitation. I think that's one thing that we now learn in this kind of high tech, low touch kind of place that a lot of people are in. And so to give an example would be, what we did when we had the event in Sarasota is, the first thing is that I had the mindset, this is an impending event that will never ever happen in the history of time that I have my hands on. And see, what ends up happening is that you do need to trick the brain a little bit, because we have a tendency to procrastinate and go, well, at Scottsdale event sounds nice, but there'll be another event which I can promote. Now, you know, maybe I'll mention it to a few people, or I'll send a flyer out, you know, by email, or kind of, oh, by the way, there's this cool event on the 22nd. That doesn't move people. What moves people, when they feel what you have, because they feel you, and that's why I like to talk to people in person. I like them to feel that, wow, I am genuinely excited. Now, that doesn't mean over the top, and I live in, and they're like, oh my God, you got to be there. This is amazing. It'll change your life. Oh my God, you'll make $1 million. That's the kind of stuff that will run people off. But when you say, hey, I found this technology and it's been working for me in these different ways. I mean, I'm 65. I feel like I'm 30. I act like I'm 18. I'm competing at the highest level in a number of sports, you know, against guys and gals that are literally, you know, a third or a quarter my age. And I'd love you to experience it. I met this founder. He's a genius. He's an amazing scientist. And it's going to be happening right there in Scottsdale where you live. Or if they don't live there, I will say, who do you know in Scottsdale? I call up everybody I know. Who do you know in Scottsdale, Arizona? And I let them know that this event is life-changing in ways that mean something to them. If I'm talking to pickleball players, You'll play pickleball better longer. You have to find out about this pickle patch that I'm using, X49. It's incredible. It's changed my life. Let me tell you what it's done for me. But more importantly, you're going to learn some things about how you really can look, feel, and perform younger and better, and it will be life-changing. So it's about that energy that I have. And if they can't make it, I'll say, well, who do you know that lives in Scottsdale? You see, I think what people do is, I don't think you should like necessarily try to, like twist someone's arm up, but I do think people want to do you a favor, Connie. So when I call people up or I message them, I'll say, hey, would you do me a favor, Connie? Who do you know in Scottsdale? I'm opening up this business in Scottsdale. Let me give you some of the statistics. Let me tell you what it's done for me. It may not be for you, but it may be something and you'd be interested in. By the way, I'd love to work with you. So I have to tell you, there's a selfish side of this call, and that is, I'd love you to take a look at it. Would you at least do that for me? And I'd love you to meet this amazing person, Connie Lucas, or whoever's going to be there. Or if I'm going to be there, I'll let them know I'll meet them there. But what I do is I make sure I give them an escape hatch, but I create such a reasons of areas I know make a difference, that would make a difference in their life. And that comes from doing some discovery, asking a few questions. If I know them already, I usually have an idea what they're looking for. But I make sure that I make this an impending event. This event will never happen again. People feel that. But if you let them off the hook, and it's like you send them an email or kind of a random text, it's like, okay, whatever. I get a million texts. I don't have time to look at that. So most of what you say and how you feel about what you say, and that you are really looking for things that are going to improve their life and areas they want improved on. But the main thing is you got to throw your heart over the bar and you got to commit to it. And that's what we did when Victoria and I ran, promoted the Saturday or the event that we had here at Sarasota. We did that with people, and I asked them, do me a favor, show up for me. And I think that you'll find out that you'll be thanking me for doing that, because I do believe it's going to make a huge difference in your life. And, and sometimes you just need to do that. I mean, people will, people want to help you and they want to do you a favor if you keep it in that light. But if you give them reasons that hit their heartstrings or hit areas they're having challenges with, they'll show up. But I'm going to share with you, it is the energy that you put behind it. And so my mindset is there'll never be another event on the 22nd of October in Scottsdale, Arizona, that will have the impact on people like this one. And that's how I would at least encourage you to think about it. And then you'll see things happen. But I think, again, the issue is you can also do what we do too often, is go, well, there'll be another event. There'll be another one in Scottsdale. I'll wait till next time. It's only a week and a half away or whatever it is, because we all make excuses for procrastinating. But this is a business of remembering that what we're trying to do is compress time. We're trying to help more people now, at least first see what we have. And the sooner you get them to do that, then the sooner they'll say yes. And again, you said something earlier. I think no means they need to know more. No means not yet. I always ask them, hey, I know this isn't for you, Connie. Would you do me a favor? Do you know anyone in Scottsdale, Arizona, who would like to look, feel, perform younger, would like to know about a technology that is the next part of the next $1 trillion industry? Do you know anyone like that? And they'll say, yeah, I do know some people. I said, who comes to you with opportunities? So I take the pressure off of them. And sometimes they'll say, well, I know this guy or gal, and they are all about anti-aging. They're all about being in front of a trend. This is a huge trend. So I'm always make sure I do that, because I've had people say, Harris, I can't make it, but I have somebody you should talk to. So those are some of the things that I've found make a big difference, Connie.
Well, and the conversion is huge at an event. I always say people make big decisions at big events, but they make big decisions at any event. And when we had this event, a similar event last year in Scottsdale, 100% of the people that showed up that I invited enrolled. I mean,
I've never seen anything like that.
Right. And I remember Sarasota was the same thing. And people were running up and they were practically shoving applications in your
They were.
face.
Oh,
Trying
I
to
had
get
groups of
involved.
people who weren't even sure why they're there. It happened to rain that day. And these
Yes.
pickleball players who typically would not have shown up if it had been sunny, but they came because I kind of guilted them a little bit.
Yeah, a little.
They showed up. And again, one of the things that we did too, Connie, which I think is important, is exactly what you said is, is make sure they understand that, hey, look, get them there. And if you have to drive them there, that's the best thing. Just pick them up, take them there. That's the number one thing you can do. Here's the other thing is once they go, well, yeah, I think I'll come. I'll say, great. I've told Connie Lucas, or I told David Schmidt, or whoever's going to be there, all about you. They'd love to meet you. I'd love to introduce you to them. I'm so glad you're going to be there. Why don't we meet before, or I'll pick you up, whatever works for them. And let's meet a little earlier so I can introduce you to some of the doctors, the healthcare professionals, people that are really having amazing results with their patients and their clients with the product. So those are the kind of things I do because remember, you're a mind maker upper. Okay. What people ask me, what do you really do in this business? You're a professional storyteller. You share your story and others. And then what you do is at that point in time is help them make their mind up. If you don't, they won't. Most people will not make their mind up if you don't encourage them. Okay. Because there's so much white noise out there, so many things coming at them that, and here's the reason most people will show up, they buy you. They buy you. The reason you've been so amazing, Connie, people love you. They trust you. They believe in you. And I tell people, it's not about the products with Connie or the opportunity. It's Connie. That's why they'll show up. And so I would encourage all of you to really create that kind of relationship with people where they go, wow, if Connie's involved in this, I want to be there. So the more you become that walking postcard or poster child or that person who looks, feels, and performs younger, the more people go, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what you're doing, but I want some of it. So those are some of the things that really will make a difference.
Well, and it's part of you said pointing to the tools too. It's one more piece. You can't be in Scottsdale, right? But you're going to invite people. And then
well, you
what
never
do you
know.
do?
I may just show up now.
Well, it's perfect. You always have a room. Come on. you and Mary does go out and play. But one of the things that you're doing when you invite someone, if you can't be there, is that you make sure you introduce them ahead of time to somebody that's going to be there. Get them on a call, with your upline that's going to be there. Get them on, an introduction. Hey, make sure when you get there, Connie knows you're coming. Make sure you introduce yourself to her. Right? Those are the type of things you can do that will ensure that they're going, that they're actually going to show up and not change their mind at the last second because you're not going to be there. Gregory and Robin have given us such incredible tools, and these other impending events that we have are these new Power of the Patch Blitz Zooms that we decided to do. And Liz and Janet Kiefer and Gregory and I have put together these Zooms that we do 4 times a week. And we did them and staggered them at different times so that whether somebody was on the East Coast or the West Coast, they would have a time that might work, maybe around a lunch hour, maybe around an evening, so we could change it up and people have opportunities to get on when it's convenient for them. And of course, in Live Younger Success, in your newsletter, we have under What's New in Live Younger Success, and in your newsletter, you can find out when these events are. And we have one on Wednesday, we have one on Thursday, we have one on Friday, we have one on Sunday. And these events are guest events. They are prospecting events, right? They're meant for 25 minutes for somebody to get a nice overview of it. And Janet's done such a spectacular job of going from the heart. What do they want? What are we all looking for? To the head, here's the data, here's some of the information, back to the heart again about what's in it for you, sharing stories, sharing testimonies. It really lays it out. And then literally, we do the close for you. You don't even have to do the close because we literally at the end say, there's 3 ways to join us. You can join as retail, but friends don't let friends buy retail. You can join as preferred customer, and here's the benefits. And you might be like me, and here's my story about why I chose to be a brand partner, and here's the ways you can get started. And this is an event for you to bring people to. Now, I have some busy people in our teams, right? Maybe you're one of them where you've got a full-time job, or you're doing this as a parallel stream of income. Maybe you're a practitioner and you're with clients all day. And so just because you cannot be on the event, now granted, you want to watch the events, you want to know what you're sending to, but just because you can't be on the event doesn't mean you can't send someone to the next event. Find out what's best for them. Hey, are afternoons or evenings better for you? Great.
Mhm.
Tomorrow at 1 p.m., Central Time, we're having this Zoom. It's 25 minutes. You're going to know after watching that if this is a fit for you or if you want to learn more. And I'm going to follow up with you afterwards because I want to hear what you think, and I want to make sure your questions get answered correctly. So you're setting up that expectation the same way for those type of events as you would for a live event.
Well, Connie, you said a lot, but I think the most important thing that you're saying is that we're really in an event business. Okay. I mean, we're all about impending events, and an impending event can be a simple three-way call with you or with me. That's an impending event where someone, it's very simple to do. It's kind of the old school, but it's very effective. Zooms are amazing. I mean, the fact that we now have a tool, this powerful tool, which is these phones that we really rarely use to talk with, but we can do all these amazing things with the InTouch app. We can do Zooms, we can do, so many things through Facebook Lives and touch people all over the world, which is one of the focuses of David Schmidt, is to really take this all around the world and be in hundreds of countries. And think about it. Where can you sit from the comfort of your home and be able to leverage all these tools that you've mentioned, all these events you've mentioned, utilize your up team, utilize David Schmidt, utilize all the resources LifeWave has given us, and all you have to do is share it and get people in front of the in front of the message, in front of these Zooms. So the real work, in my opinion, it's like, I think if any of you have ever tried to run or walk a 5K or 1 mile, or maybe you tried a marathon. What do you have to do? You have to do a little bit every day. You walk around the block, then you try to do a mile, then you might try to do 2 miles. And so my encouragement to all of you is to really start focusing all these amazing events that have been created, partly by LifeWave and a lot by Robin and Gregory and the overall team, so that we can leverage them. The freedom that it gives me, which I'm all about freedom, and lifestyle, is that we now can do this from mountaintops, from sailboats, from the desert, from any place on the planet. We can build a business. And right now, people more than ever are looking for community. They're looking for something that has a purpose. They're looking for something that has lifestyle and freedom. And guess what? I believe we have the perfect opportunity. But guess what the most important part of anything is? It's the part that's missing. And that's you throwing your heart over the bar and getting people to show up for these events, whether it's Monday night and doing what we're doing right now, or it's one of these new Zooms that you guys have created, which is really effective, or it's a live event in Scottsdale. When you become a master of inviting, remember, a master of inviting, that's all you have to do. It means invite somebody, right? That doesn't mean invite everybody, it just means invite somebody. What will happen is the team and the tools and this product will make it happen for you. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, I've been in this profession 40 years. I think this is the most powerful time in the history of humankind where we can touch more lives, and we can do it from the comfort of our home. You can learn and earn while you do it, and you can become a master like you, Connie. I mean, I've watched how many lives you've changed, and thanks to the support of Barry. I want to make sure I give Barry a kudo there. But we need to become a master of promoting events, getting people on these events. And if you do that, and again, I'd rather see ignorance on fire than knowledge on ice. Because if you get enough people plugged in to the message and to the community and to this amazing product and the opportunity, everything takes care of its place. The compensation plan takes care of itself. The check will show up every week or month, and you will see your business grow. But if you sit there and try to figure out, how do I set up a Facebook group, or how do I need to organize my desk, or I need to figure out how to be an influencer, those are all things that might be helpful. But here's what it really comes down to. Invite 3 people a day. 3 people a day. All of us can do that. Okay, either to listen to a video through our app, or get them on one of our Zooms, or get them to an event. And I guarantee you'll have success. There is no secret sauce in this. It's just consistency of the right actions, law of the farm, feed your belief, starve the fear, plant some seeds, water those seeds, harvest those seeds, and then help people believe and get them to become people that plant their seeds by sharing and caring. It's that good cycle of business, Connie. It's that simple.
I love it. Do you all see where I gleaned my wisdom from?
You are, but something, when you find someone like Connie, here's what I would tell you to do. Hold on, and you're going to be going on for the ride of your life, because I saw it in Connie. I saw the gift that she had. All we had to do was get her plugged into something that she could get her arms around. And now the beauty of it is I can just get out of the way and just be very proud and happy that I met you and Barry.
Well, we feel the same. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right.
So thank you, everyone. Tonight we're not going to go through what Gregory normally does with the through the newsletter. And someone did post for me, thank you so much, that apparently the InTouch app does not have where you can register for the event. So if you could just go into your back office under the events tab, then scroll down to the Scottsdale event, click on it, and you can register right there. Again, they're going to let anyone in. And even if you use the flyer that Gregory and Robin created, we're going to get everybody in, but it certainly helps us to have a number so that we know how big that room is, and we have some expectations as to who's showing up. So thank you all for allowing me to have this time with you, and have a great evening. We'll talk to you soon.